It's hard to believe that this little Hampshire village was once the bustling centre of shipbuilding for the British Navy. In fact, it was here that 3 of Nelson's ships, used later in the Battle of Trafalgar, were built. Find out where I am in just a moment on Escape to the Country. In today's show, I'll be helping a couple make a downsized move to the country, but they can't stop thinking big.
I'm dreaming of a bigger garden so that I can have a little rotavator going up and down, and that's...
You want a little tractor, don't you?
But will our mystery house throw the idea of downsizing out the window?
Here's your room.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Why?
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Today I'm in Bucklershard on the River Bewley in Hampshire. And back in the 18th century, this really was a big shipbuilding outfit. Of course, it was well placed. It was on the edge of the New Forest, and all the ships were built of oak from the forest. So you can imagine back in the 1780s, for example, Nelson's favourite ship, the Agamemnon, was built here, 160 foot long, space for 64 cannons and 500 men. It would have towered above these little houses. And then came the advent of iron ships, and the shipbuilding here died a death, but it did leave behind this beautiful little village, a fitting starting point indeed for our adventures today on Escape to the Country.
Hampshire offers the best of both worlds with beautiful coastline and countryside within its borders. To the southwest of the county, you'll find one of Hampshire's 2 national parks, the New Forest, famous for its wild ponies which roam freely over this area of outstanding natural beauty, which William the Conqueror declared his new hunting forest. Running south to the coastline, the forest continues to the attractive Georgian market town of Lymington, a popular destination with seafaring enthusiasts. Hampshire has a long maritime history. With just a short hop across the channel, it's been a popular choice with invaders, captured first by the Romans, falling again to the Normans. So whether it's a forest escape or a seaside retreat, Hampshire certainly has plenty of options to choose from.
If you want to be a Hampshire hog, then you're going to have to pay for the privilege, because even with the recent dip in the market, house prices in Hampshire are 26% above the national average. And if you want to live in the New Forest, then you have to add another 15 or 20% on top of that. So dig deep into your imaginary pockets and take a look at what's on the market.
If you've got a big budget, then take a look at this fabulous 4-bedroom Victorian farmhouse in Bockhampton for £1.4 million. After cooking up a storm in the country kitchen, where better to relax than in this stunning orangery? And then there's plenty of recreational options with a barn converted to a games room and a swimming pool. On the market at £535,000, this 3-bedroom Grade 2 listed cottage in Quorley is packed to the rafters with country charm, with its inglenook fireplace and exposed beams, which also flow through into the kitchen. Outside, the mature gardens amount to 1/3 of an acre. But you can also get thatched for less with this 3-bedroom cottage near Ringwood, priced at £389,000. Its open fireplaces are a running theme through its living room and separate dining room.
All those property pearls cast before Hampshire hogs, but will it be enough to tempt today's buyers to leave their life in the city for a new life in the New Forest?
Annal and Shirley have lived in their 6-bedroom semi-detached house in Ilford, Essex for the past 22 years. Now that all 4 of their children have left home, these empty nesters are ready to make a move. Prompted by Shirley's recent retirement, they are primed to make the most of their newfound freedom.
This house is really too big for us. We don't need 6 bedrooms. And now that we're both retired, we don't need to travel into London for our work. So we feel it's an ideal opportunity to move to an area where we have more outdoor life. We love cycling and walking.
I'm particularly looking forward to a big garden so that I can do some gardening.
Tired of fast-paced city living, Anil and Shirley are planning to get more involved in their local community.
If there's a local village hall with any clubs, we're very keen to join. Things like gardening clubs and yoga.
With the rest of the family supporting their parents' move, which area of Britain have they set their sights on?
We'd love to live in the New Forest. It's been our dream for some time because it's an area of outstanding natural beauty.
So are they looking to live in splendid isolation?
We don't want to be isolated, but we definitely want tranquility.
And what about their wish list for the new property?
We're looking for a detached 4-bedroomed house with a garage and a large kitchen and a large dining room because our family visit often. We're not looking for any thatched cottage or Grade 2 listed building or anything like that. We prefer something that's more modern for ease of maintenance.
Although retired, they're still planning to keep themselves busy.
As you can see, I'm in my study where I spend a lot of my time silver surfing, and in my new house I'm hoping that we'll get a similar sized study.
This is my favourite room in the house. It's where I come to get away from it all and to do my knitting. So in my next house I would like a room at least this size to accommodate all my knitting machines.
In order to see how much they have to spend on their new home, we asked a local estate agent to value their property.
It's a large 6-bedroom house in a much sought after location. Houses like this really come onto the market, and we value this property at £750,000.
With that in mind, what's the budget for their house in the country?
Our budget for the new property is £700,000 maximum.
A property wish list like Anil and Shirley's is not so unusual on this show. Beautiful house, lovely views, wraparound garden, 4 bedrooms. But what's going to be tricky is finding all that in the sparsely populated 150 square miles that is the New Forest. However, here on Escape to the Country, the one thing we are good at is seeing the property wood from the trees.
Today our house hunt is focused around the New Forest and the historic harbour town of Lymington. We've lined up some delightful country homes for Shirley and Anil to inspect, and as always I'll be getting them to take a guess at the price of each of the properties before I reveal the asking price. And then of course there's the mystery house, which is a bit of a wild card, but I'm hoping it will sweep them off their feet.
Welcome to the New Forest. You don't know this area so well.
Not at all. This is the
we
first
haven't
time we are
visited.
visiting it, yes.
That's amazing. So what made you want to move down here?
We like cycling, so I think it's an ideal place for cycling.
It's quite flat, it's good.
Yes, it's lovely,
Yeah.
and also walking.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I know that your house selling is progressing nicely, so what's our budget? Because it is quite expensive down here.
We are prepared to spend up to 700.
700,000, I think that's a good budget. Because you do want to downsize, and you've got 6 bedrooms at the moment.
We've
Yeah.
got 6 at the moment, so we're looking for 4.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
Because you've got 4 children, are you hoping that they all want to come back? Do they all come back for Christmas and things
They
like that?
definitely do
Yes.
for all occasions, Christmas, birthdays and holidays.
OK, so you've got a good budget. Let's go and look at some properties.
Our downsizers, Anil and Shirley, are hoping their £700,000 budget will buy them a 4-bedroom detached house. It must also have a kitchen dining room capable of seating 10, and at least half an acre for Anil's wraparound garden and vegetable patch, ideally located on the edge of a village.
In terms of house hunting, it's been a long time, isn't it? 22 plus years since you
That's
last
right, yes.
looked for a house. Are you kind of excited or a bit nervous?
No, we're excited. Yes, we're excited about starting a new chapter in our lives and moving to a new area.
We're kicking off our house search in the village of Sway, tucked within the New Forest boundary. It's a popular spot with a smattering of handy local shops. On the outskirts of the village is this recently refurbished property built in the 1930s.
Come around the corner, hidden from view, is this property.
Oh,
A lovely
beautiful.
property, this. beautiful.
Lovely cottage.
I love the style of it.
The present owners have been here about 10 years and they've done a lot of work, extended in all sorts of directions and really remodelled it from top to toe.
Great. So with a positive first impression of this property, let's see what they make of the inside.
So here we have the main sitting room.
Oh, yes, this is beautiful.
Oh, yes.
yes,
Very nice.
Nice.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
warm as well.
Yeah, it's cosy.
Yeah, cosy.
So this is presumably smaller than the sitting room that you've got at the moment, is it?
It is, it is.
Yes.
But then we will be looking at the totality of the, footprint of the house.
But remember that we're downsizing.
That's right.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
this is why I flagged that up, is because very
Yes.
often it's like, it's a bit small because you're used to big.
No, we're not comparing it with what we have or what we don't have. We're just looking at what will go with, our future projected lifestyle.
Right.
One of Shirley's many hobbies is cooking. The question is, will she want to put her culinary skills to work in this modern kitchen?
What do you think about this?
Oh, it's very nice. Yes, beautiful.
I know you like to cook.
Yes.
Is this going to be enough workspace for you? Enough?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
What's nice is also you've got a kind of a separate utility room
Yes.
with an
Yeah.
entrance so you can bring all your shopping in
That's
there.
really a
Yes,
bonus.
that's very
factor.
useful.
Yeah.
I know that you're quite keen on having a separate dining room.
That's right, yeah.
So obviously in a smaller property like this, that's possible, but it's something we'll have to give.
Yeah.
However, as you may have noticed, they do have this lovely option.
Yes, I think I found somewhere for the visiting family to eat.
What do you think of this?
Oh, this is beautiful.
This is
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
very light and bright.
Could you imagine using this as the dining room?
Yes,
You
definitely.
could, yeah.
Yes,
I mean, it's the
nice
most
table.
part of the year because
Yeah.
it's south-facing. There'll be plenty of sun and warmth in here.
On the ground floor of this former bungalow, there are 3 good-sized bedrooms. So it'll be a question of drawing straws to see which one Shirley turns into her knitting room and which one becomes a study for Anil to indulge in a spot of silver surfing. There's also a modern family bathroom, but for me, it's on the next floor that this former bungalow comes into its own.
Step inside.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's great, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Room with all the
Master suite.
wardrobes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5
so
wardrobes.
Yeah, this is very relaxing. It's
Yeah.
a lovely room.
Why don't you have a go and look at the ensuite?
Ooh, very nice. Oh,
Beautiful.
yes, lovely.
Absolutely.
You kind of getting your head around the fact that it's not a family house anymore, it's a house for 2 people?
Yes, yes. I
Yes,
think
we are
it's-
beginning to realise that. We've got to,
Easier to maintain.
in that sense, it's
Yes.
very good, easier to maintain. But it's,
The interior seems to satisfy a lot of our couple's requirements, so let's see if the outside can deliver.
So you step out of the conservatory, or indeed those double doors, into this very nice flagged patio area. Let's talk about the garden, because I know that's a big issue for you. And
it is, yeah.
what's your honest opinion of the size of the garden?
I think the size is a bit small for what I'm dreaming of. A bigger garden for vegetable plot and have a little rotavator going up and down, and that's
You want a little tractor, don't you?
a little tractor will be
Like all retired men, you want to have like a sit-on lawnmower and a tractor.
absolutely. That's my dream.
Yeah.
It's beautiful though.
Yeah.
I mean,
There is a little secret garden at the bottom, but it's not
let's
very
have a
big.
look. Yes.
I'm not sure the garden's quite living up to Anil's dream. Maybe this little hideaway will help.
So again, have a look in here. This is a sort of little sunken garden, because you are slightly overlooked in the main garden.
Yeah, it's a nice little corner.
It's a nice little corner and sun trap.
And there's scope for projects aplenty in the garage.
Look at this. I was surprised by this.
Oh, yes. This is a useful area.
Very useful. Yes.
There's a huge workshop garage space. You could convert it into anything. You could even convert it into some, a more living space.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it could be Shirley's knitting room.
Yeah.
She needs a large room.
Let's go back into the garden and talk about the price.
You can see the house from the back much clearer, what they've done. They've
Yeah.
raised the ceiling there.
Yes.
What do you think it costs?
I think it's $635.
Okay, so high up.
645.
645. Oh, well, you'll be pleased to know that this is on the market for 565.
Oh, it's a good price.
Very good price.
Yeah.
We wanted to show it to you because on paper it fits a lot of the things on your
It
bill,
does,
not
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it gives you a big chunk of change to enjoy your retirement with.
Yeah.
And also it's quite difficult to find properties in the forest. They go like hotcakes. So why don't you wander around inside and see whether the compromises outweigh the money that you save, and then we'll take it from there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Off you go. It's a great first house. I mean, it does offer pretty much everything. Maybe the garden not so much, and location perhaps, but in terms of the property, I think it's a really good property if they really want to downsize, and it's a bargain.
Under budget by a massive £135,000, this property is a great low-maintenance option for them to live out their retirement years, featuring a modern kitchen with dining conservatory, 4 bedrooms with a magnificent master suite, a reasonably sized garden set in a desirable village within the New Forest. But how committed are they to downsizing?
I think it's a beautifully presented house. You wouldn't have to do any work to it, just move in. The upstairs master bedroom with the ensuite is amazing. I could imagine lying there and reading.
It will do for your knitting.
I could have one machine there and another machine
You got
there.
plenty of light as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one issue that I have personally is the size of the property, particularly the dining room stroke the conservatory, because we have a large family and I was looking for space enough for a 10-seater table. And the garden is all right by London standards, but not for what I'm looking for.
While the forest dominates inland Hampshire, its coastline is defined by ports. Southampton and Portsmouth, which have played their part in generating this county's wealth. Lymington is also a key coastal port, whose identity has endured over the centuries. Earlier in the week, Annal and Shirley met Steve Marshall, director of Lymington's St Barb's Museum, to find out more about its history.
Back in medieval times, when they were looking for a place to set up a town, they chose Lymington because of the river. You got a nice connection with the Solent and with the sea, and also with the Isle of Wight. So a good place to trade from.
From the Middle Ages until the mid-19th century, Lymington was famous for producing sea salt, which at its peak reputedly supplied the whole of South England and lined the pockets of many a rich merchant, whose legacy still lives on in the town's architecture.
We're here in the middle of Lymington High Street now, looking at this particular house. It's called Bellevue House. It was built in the 1790s, and it was home to a chap called Charles St Barb. He opened Lymington's first bank, but he also owned salt works. So when you see a grand building like this, it's a fairly safe bet that the money to build it came from making salt.
Beside Lymington's official industry, more illicit operations were rife in its pubs and inns by the 18th century.
One of the ways that people made most of their money in the 18th century locally was by smuggling. And the inn here was reputed to be a place where smugglers would meet. And legend has it that there are tunnels running under the high street.
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
From down on the quay up to here and beyond.
Above ground, a unique surviving feature of the town is its serpentine walls, which were built by Hanoverian soldiers in exile at the beginning of the 19th century.
Back in the Napoleonic Wars, foreign troops were based here in Lymington. They brought the building method with them, so they knew how to make walls in this way. They're cheap on materials because they're only 1 brick thick.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Okay,
It's
so
solid, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's solid. It's not going to go anywhere, and that's why they make them wavy. The curves gives it the strength.
Lymington's position has made it an attractive draw for a rich and varied influx of people throughout the ages. And our second property is all about location too. It's tucked well inside the New Forest Park in the village of Mockbeggar. For amenities, the historic market town of Ringwood is 2 miles away, with an array of local pubs and independent shops. The national park itself is quite literally on their doorstep, as are the locals, who tend to keep a healthy distance.
Come in. We won't go over the kettle grid.
No.
That's to stop the New Forest ponies coming in.
Right.
Because we are right on the edge of the New Forest here.
Excellent.
This is the property I want to show you.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yes.
It's actually a 1950s bungalow, and it's been stretched out to the front and to the side. In the last 10 years, it's doubled in size.
It looks very spacious.
Yeah.
This modernised property is a surprisingly spacious option, which may be just the ticket for our reluctant downsizers.
And straight ahead into fabulous kitchen.
My.
Oh, yes, very nice.
This is beautiful.
Yes. I like the island.
Did you always want an island?
Yes,
Definitely,
yes, it's very
definitely.
useful.
And then there's a good-sized utility room there with all your wash
Yeah.
stuff. Is this going to work?
Yes, I think this is
Definitely.
exactly what we were looking for.
Well, it naturally, I hope, draws you through
Yeah.
to this splendid room. This is a big
Yes,
conservatory. I think it's sort
stunning.
of more than a conservatory.
Yes, it's amazing. As you can imagine us spending a lot of time in here.
Now, would you make this your dining room?
I think
We could do, but
yeah.
I'd like to sit here and read.
well, we could do both, couldn't we? I mean,
Yeah.
there's plenty of room here.
Yes, it's a big
We could have a
room.
dining table, and then there's plenty of room.
Well, this could be your dining room, or, if you followed me, ta-da! It's another dining room,
Oh, it's
possibly.
lovely. Yes.
Yeah, it's a nice
Ideal.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I wouldn't use it as a dining room. Much
No, it would make a nice dining room because it's next to the kitchen.
No, that one is as well. So
Yeah.
you have a choice. You have a choice. But this is a
You could have a winter dining room and a summer dining
summer
room.
dining room. This is a nice room. This is so good that you could have this as a study or something, couldn't you? It's so nice.
Don't rush, Hannah. There are plenty of other options.
The reception areas just keep on unfolding. There's a generous sitting room with wood-burning stove for the family to gather around. And 3 of this property's 5 bedrooms are on this level, 2 of which could be contenders for a study or a knitting room. There's a handy wet room, not that they would need it, as they have a suite of their very own.
This is your master bedroom.
It's lovely.
This
Yeah,
is beautiful.
Very high ceiling.
Very high ceiling.
Yeah.
Pitch ceiling, again, this is a
Lovely.
new extension, and a very nice ensuite. Would have a poke in there.
Right.
See the ensuite.
Oh, this is nice. It's a good size.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very
yeah.
spacious.
Yeah.
Is that enough space for you?
Yes,
Definitely,
yes, plenty of
definitely.
space. Yeah.
Ah, that's a good job there's another floor then. What are you going to do with all that space?
Wow. This is good.
Space is definitely not lacking in this house. Upstairs, there's another good-sized double bedroom and family bathroom.
So come on through in here. I mean, I can talk you through the whole space. Essentially, obviously, they went up into the attic space.
An
Yeah.
excellent use of the space.
Yes.
Superb. Yes, I want this room for myself.
Ah, that's what I was thinking. 'Cause I was thinking now, which rooms are they going to use for what? And I was thinking now, which room could be the knitting room?
Yeah.
And which room could be the study?
Yeah, it will be the knitting room, I suspect.
Oh, you'll win.
Yeah, she'll win, but basically I want it, because this is just ideal.
But before they decide on who's having which room, I want to show them the all-important garden, which wraps around the property, with space for Anil to rev up his ride-on lawnmower, and with potential for him to establish his vegetable garden.
So there's quite a bit of land.
Yeah, as well. There's
Yeah.
quite a bit of land.
Because a lot of the land was lost when they extended the property.
Yes.
So that was eaten up by the lovely conservatory.
Very
And
true.
it's very quiet.
It's
Yes.
quiet, definitely.
How much do you think this house is on the market for?
I think it's at the top of our budget, if not over budget. So I'd say 725.
I'll put a price on it at 695.
Whether you say top of the budget.
Yes.
Well, yet again, I've got some good news for you.
Yeah?
Because this is on the market for 675.
Oh, that's
Right,
good.
that's
So
right.
you'd actually
Yes,
have £25,000 to
Yes.
get yourself a pony.
Yes, absolutely.
That's good. Yeah.
Properties in the New Forest are like hen's teeth.
Yeah.
You know, they don't come up that often.
Yeah.
And what you're looking for with the land and everything is you know, a desirable property, and they get snapped up.
Yeah, but this is a nice property, without a doubt.
Have a wander around again, look inside.
Yes, thank you.
And then I'll collect you.
Under budget at £675,000, this house is ready to move into and wouldn't be a radical downsize. Critically, it would also put them in the heart of some fabulous countryside and give them 3 reception rooms, so plenty of space for their family, a large modern kitchen, which Shirley seems pleased with, 5 bedrooms with a master ensuite, and a wraparound garden for Anil to cultivate to his heart's content.
It feels a very warm and homely house, and it's very quiet. It's lovely to have so much space. It gives us lots of options.
I like the loft conversion at the top because it's absolutely beautiful and peaceful. My own dream still remains that I could get a slightly bigger plot of land so that I can do a bit of gardening for vegetable plot and so on.
2 houses down, if you just want to pull the door. But time for a little reflection now.
Yes.
As the sun sets over the Hampshire countryside, it marks the end of the first day of our property search. Armed with a £700,000 budget, Anil and Shirley are looking to downsize to Hampshire, where they can enjoy their retirement. So far, they've seen 2 properties, and although they say they're keen to downscale with this move, I get the feeling that size does actually matter.
Just remember you are downsizing, because this is actually a massive kitchen utility complex.
So perhaps we can expand their horizons with our mystery house.
Hooray, we're all at sea. This is going to be a very exciting mystery house. Day 2, and we've decided to take Anil and Shirley across the water from the New Forest to the Isle of Wight. Because yesterday Anil was very insistent that what he wanted was quiet. And you don't get much quieter than the island.
We're also crossing the water as the average detached property on the Isle of Wight is a staggering £75,000 cheaper than in Hampshire.
So, I'm excited.
Yes, it's a wonderful surprise. We haven't been here before.
What sort of house do you think we're going to show you there?
It might be a lighthouse.
A lighthouse? Well, there is a very famous lighthouse at the end, but I think that might be occupied.
I'm sure it will be a house with a certain amount of land, certain amount of tranquility, and a character of its own, which befits the island.
So, for our mystery house, we are heading to Totland Bay, situated on the west side of the Isle of Wight. With breathtaking scenery and spectacular coastal walks, it's easy to see why the poet laureate Alfred Lord Tennyson lived in the area for more than 40 years. There are 21 chines, or coastal gullies, on the Isle of Wight, and today's mystery house is at the top of one of them, Widdick Chine. Not only are we taking them somewhere they would have never considered with our mystery property, but we're also doing a U-turn on the modern style and serving up a grand period property.
Come on in. This is a very lovely house. I'm looking forward to getting your reactions to this.
Beautiful.
Yes, it looks very traditional.
Yeah.
It's a Victorian property. It's from just right at the end of Victoria's reign.
Yes, they're full of character. Beautiful.
You've got this wonderful wrap-around garden, which I know you're interested in, Anna, but we'll look at that in a bit later. You keen to get inside?
Yes, please.
I am keen to show you inside this one.
Thank you.
And when Anil and Shirley see inside, they may leave all notions of downsizing at the front door.
Come on in. Now, we don't often stop in the hall, but this is a special hall.
Yes, it's lovely.
One of the striking things about this property is just the number of windows. You've got a whole
Yes.
wall of windows here.
Yeah.
And then you've got a sort of vestibule with another window looking through to the stairwell, so light comes in everywhere.
Yeah.
The distinctive character windows are a running theme in our next room.
It's a sitting room.
Very light.
Very light.
Come on in.
Lots of nice windows.
Look at this fantastic bay window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could imagine sitting in the bay window with a book, and there's a lovely fireplace, so it'd be
works, yeah.
cosy
Yeah.
in the evenings in the winter.
Let's hope that the room across the hallway gets the thumbs up from Shirley.
Ah, Shirley, this is one for you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Very bright. Lovely big windows. Yes.
And then the dining area flows these lovely quarry tiles into the kitchen.
Yes, it's very nice. Yes, country kitchen. Yeah.
Country kitchen, yeah.
Yes, lots of character. Yes, lovely range cooker.
Yeah. It's a sort of slightly kind of serpentine kitchen.
That's
it kind of
right,
wraps
yeah.
around. There's a massive utility room through there. And then there's another sort of sunroom study on the other side. And what do you think about the entertainment possibilities here?
Yes, there's room for a large table.
For my liking, I could do with a bit more space, but that's always the case.
More space than this?
Yes, but that is always the case in...
So remember, you are downsizing. This is actually a massive kitchen utility complex.
Anil's not going to let go of his table for 10 without a fight. Maybe this next room will make him happy.
Was that new?
Yes.
Yes,
lovely.
wow, it's a lovely room.
Yes, I like the windows, double aspect.
Double bay windows.
Yeah.
Superb.
How many rooms do you see every day that have double bay windows?
Absolutely, superb. Yeah.
So is this big enough for you, Anil?
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely big enough. That's, if you like, is the litmus test. Will it accommodate family and friends more than once a year? Would be quite a number of times a year. And if that is okay, then accommodation-wise it's okay.
Right. This could seat 11, 12, 13, 14 people quite happily.
Yeah, this is a lovely room.
This house has a seemingly endless wealth of original Victorian features, like this turning staircase with its striking triangular bay window.
I want you to just admire this beautiful bit of domestic architecture. It's a fantastic stairwell with this triangular light well.
Amazing.
And look, you've got this lovely barrel ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
There are 2 bathrooms, the larger of the 2 having shades of Victoriana. 2 of the 4 bedrooms on this floor are singles, along with another double with a view. Who wouldn't want to sit dreaming their days away by this stunning bay window? Which leaves the pièce de résistance, the master bedroom.
Here's your room.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Right.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely
And
massive.
Spacious, yes, it's massive.
You've got your bedroom here,
You've got
your dressing room here,
yes, and wardrobes.
Oh, yes, lots of wardrobe
Plenty of
space.
ensuite here with the shower.
Oh,
Oh, my
lovely.
goodness, that's
Yes.
a surprise.
This fabulous 4-bedroom house certainly seems to have all they have asked for. The only thing left is to see whether the garden can match up to the house. With its terraced borders, this well-established garden wraps all the way around the house. There's even a garage for Anil's ride-on tractor. And as for dreams of self-sufficiency, I think we may have found him the perfect vegetable plot.
And you'll never guess what this used to be, Anil.
All right, I can see, I can imagine.
Yeah.
You've got a compost
Yeah.
heap there. It's really nice, actually. That's right.
I think this property has it all. But do Shirley and Anil agree? And can they guess the price?
Nice hammock spot, because it's very private in this spot.
Yes, it is.
And we get a good view of the property. How much do you think it's worth?
It does need a bit of work in places, so I'd say 685.
Well, I think it's a magnificent property. I'll put it at 725.
Well, if you split the difference, you're spot on. It's just a shade under £700,000.
Yeah.
So right at the top of your budget.
Yeah.
But of course there is space in the current market for a bit of negotiation because, as you say, the paintwork needs kind of freshening up. But I think, for what you get on the island, it's incredible.
Good.
This would undoubtedly shade into £1 million if it was in the New Forest.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, why don't you have a look around, suck up the beauty, and then I'll see you at the front for some decision-making time.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
Well, it is a magnificent property, and, I'd buy it. So I'm kind of slightly prejudiced. But there is a amount of work that needs to be doing to it, and, it is on the Isle of Wight, which for some people is not such a good thing. But I think for Anne and Shirley it's actually perfect because it's quiet and tranquil and a perfect place to retire.
Sneaking in £500 under their £700,000 budget, they suddenly get a lot for their money with our impressive Victorian mystery house, which features 4 fabulous reception rooms, 4 bedrooms with a large master ensuite, a wraparound garden and garage to house Annel's tractor mower, all set on the Isle of Wight, a location they would never have thought of, but seem to be warming to.
I think this is a magnificent house in an excellent location, and the rooms are large. This is just the type of place I've been dreaming of. This is a large room.
Yeah,
Very
lots
good.
of possibilities to use in this room.
You could extend the kitchen.
Yes. I think it's a beautiful house, absolutely stunning location. One of the best things about the house is it's full of light. We didn't think that there'd be such wonderful properties within our budget. It's opened up a new world for us coming here.
Can you resist buying this house?
No, it's a beautiful house. Yeah.
Very good.
Definitely.
Well, you have to resist it for a bit longer till we get somewhere else to have a decision chat.
Right.
Yes, thank you. It's beautiful though, this house.
I grew up in Hampshire, so I'm keen to get back to my roots with a visit to the New Forest. Many of today's oak trees replaced those that furnished the shipbuilding industry, which boomed in the 18th century. These days, the site is sustainably managed by the Forestry Commission, who look after more than 1.4 billion trees in Britain, producing over 40% of the UK's wood. That's more than 5 million tonnes of timber. I'm meeting forester Richard Burke, who's leading a team of woodsmen in an area known as the New Copse.
So this was planted as farmed oak? This was planted
Yeah,
as...
this is like a big tree farm, really. It was planted in 1860, something like that, as an oak plantation. We're trying to get long, drawn-up, straight, clean stems of timber, and that sort of maximises the value. We've got some beech that have grown up amongst it, and we're trying to sort of break up the beech and break up the canopies to try and get more light onto the forest floor.
The trees are thinned and felled in cycles to help maintain the health of the forest.
What are we doing here?
Right, we're going to try and favour this tree by removing that tree, yeah.
So this is the oak?
Yeah, this is the oak that we're after, and we're trying to sort of give that as much space and room to grow and develop as we can.
To be honest, I've got rather mixed feelings about watching this beech being felled.
It's almost quite sad.
Well, it is, isn't it? But essentially, it's sort of breathing new life into this guy
Yeah,
here.
no, you totally see that.
And like I said, it was there, grown there to do that and produce some wood. So that'll get used now and made into something useful or provide heat for someone. So yeah.
But as well as cutting down and clearing trees, the Forestry Commission are also responsible for planting more than 17 million new trees every year.
So when were these planted?
These were planted this time last year, so they've been in about a year, yeah.
Gosh, it shows how slowly they grow. It'll be 150 years before we get that log again.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2,500 trees per hectare planted in this area. Not all of them will make it. We'll only need about 200 trees per hectare. So all what we'll have here in 150 years' time are the best examples of these trees. The ones in between will have been taken out in the meantime as firewood and fence posts and planks, etc.
So in 2160,
yeah,
this tree will be a big tree.
Yeah, I'm sure I won't be here then.
No, I don't think so either of us will, even if we try hard.
It's interesting to see how much a seemingly natural landscape like the New Forest needs managed conservation in order to flourish for generations to come. Annel and Shirley have definitely charted new territory on their house search, and it's given them many options to consider.
Well, it looks like our Isle of Wight wildcard really paid off, because I think this would be the perfect island retreat for Annel and Shirley to spend their twilight years. But let's find out whether that's true. So thinking back to the first house that we looked at Sway, what are your thoughts about that now?
It was very beautifully presented, no work to do on it, we could just move in. It's very convenient for the village and for the forest. The only drawback from my point of view was the conservatory was a bit small and overlooked on one side.
So the second house was much bigger.
Yes,
Had a lovely big kitchen conservatory.
that's right, yes.
What are your thoughts about that?
It had a very homely feel, very welcoming. I could see myself living there. All the rooms were a good size. I liked the flow of the house, the way that the kitchen led into the conservatory. There was a lovely farmhouse kitchen with an island and a wonderful large cooker.
The garden was fairly large. I mean, I could have done with a bit more ground for a vegetable patch. Again, one has to balance that against the beautiful views, you know, in front of the house. So, yeah, it was a good property.
And the upstairs as well had very large and light rooms.
Lovely loft conversion, wasn't it?
Yes.
It's almost there.
Was there any downsides for you, Shirley?
Well, the house was so nice that going round we didn't notice that it didn't have a garage, and we thought about that afterwards. But that's one of the things that we wanted.
So the mystery house, we came over to the Isle of Wight.
Yes.
And that was a whole new mystery in itself.
Yes.
But then I showed you a period property, which you hadn't asked for.
Yes.
So what were your thoughts about that lovely house?
What a stunner, what a stunner it was.
Yeah.
And the location, absolutely, I mean, we have not seen anything like it. It has got spacious accommodation, large bedrooms.
What about you, Shirley?
It was all the things that we didn't want. A very large, substantial house, and we're supposed to be downsizing. But I absolutely fell in love with it. Large rooms, high ceilings, which is what we're used to, and full of light.
Ostensibly, you did want to downsize.
Yes.
But as we looked around, it seemed to me that actually you weren't so fussed about the downsizing, actually. You wanted a big garden, you wanted a big kitchen, you wanted a big dining room, you wanted space for 12 people to come and stay.
True.
Do you think now that actually you wouldn't call what you're doing downsizing?
I think it wouldn't be downsizing so much as moving to a quiet location.
Yeah. Yes, I realise that it's not, strictly speaking, a downsizing exercise. Because had that been the case, property number one was most appropriate for it.
So on that point, is there any one of these that you would proceed on?
Yes, the Isle of Wight, the house was much bigger, the garden was bigger.
We would like to contact the estate agent and take this matter further, because we are very keen that if properties of this ilk are available, then the chances are that we will be moving to this part of the country.
Wonderful. Well, I'm so pleased because I, for one, am glad that you're not downsizing, because I think that you know, why downsize when you don't have to? And I'm really pleased that we were able to help you make some decisions in that direction. So
yes, you've helped us a lot. Thank you very much to you
pleasure.
and to the team.
Well, I
You've
hope
been
that we'll be able to
wonderful.
visit you on the island soon.
Definitely, yes. You must come to our
most
house
welcome.
warming.
Yes, definitely.
So despite the obvious beauties of the New Forest, it seems like expensive house prices may have driven Annel and Shirley over the water to the Isle of Wight, which I think is actually a very beautiful place to play out your retirement years. So I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Escape to the Country, and do join us for more next time.
If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.